The world of technology is evolving so fast, it's honestly hard to keep up. From AI advancements to materials that heal themselves, we're living in a sci-fi movie, except it's all real. Welcome to Galore Techs. In this video, we're diving into 14 jaw-dropping new technologies that are not just cool. They're changing the world as we know it. Some of them might blow your mind, and others might just sneak into your life sooner than you think. Ready? Let's get into it. An Australian company called Cortical Labs has created the world's first biocomputer that actually runs on living human brain cells. It's called CL1, and inside are about 800,000 neurons grown from stem cells, hooked up to traditional silicone hardware. What's crazy is, these cells can learn on their own, unlike AI, which needs to be fed tons of data. In fact, an earlier version of the system learned to play Pong. The whole setup is energy efficient, roughly the size of 2 shoeboxes, and it keeps the neurons alive for months using temperature control systems. It's expected to be used in things like drug testing and brain research, and to be honest, the possibilities are endless. This one is really fascinating. Researchers at the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, exposed breast cancer cells to Beethoven's symphony number 5 and Ligetti's atmospheres at 37 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes. They saw roughly 20% of the cancer cells killed, while the healthy cells showed no effect. It's not a cure, but it hints that certain frequencies or rhythms might stress cells in weird ways. Still, nothing's peer-reviewed or used in humans yet, but can we expect a revolutionary new way to cure this disease? It's possible. This is adorable and impressive. In June 2025, China hosted the first ever 3-on-3 football match between AI-controlled humanoid robots, DigiDuck FC versus New Aerobot. These 1.2 to 1.5 meter bots, made by universities like Tsinghua and CAU, used AI with vision sensors and deep reinforcement learning, played 2 10-minute halves. The bots stumbled, fumbled, and fell over, but scored goals. The event was less about performance and more about proving that embodied AI can perceive, move, and cooperate in real-world unpredictability. China has developed a new weapon called the Blackout Bomb, designed to disrupt enemy power grids without causing physical destruction. Instead of exploding, it releases hundreds of tiny carbon fiber filaments mid-air, which then spread out over an area of around 10,000 square meters. These microscopic fibers create short circuits when they come into contact with high-voltage power lines and electrical equipment, effectively knocking out electricity over a wide region. The Blackout Bomb weighs about 490 kilograms and can be delivered via missile up to 290 kilometers away. It's a silent, non-lethal weapon focused on disabling critical infrastructure, potentially leaving entire cities or military bases in darkness for days. This technology represents a new form of warfare, focusing on disruption rather than destruction, and could seriously change how power grids are protected in future conflicts. Human blood has a shelf life of a maximum of 35 days, but now that life can be increased to up to 2 years at room temperature and can be transfused without needing any type matching. That's what researchers at Nara Medical University in Japan are doing. They take hemoglobin from expired donor blood, wrap it in a protective shell, and it becomes virus-free, universal artificial blood. In trials, volunteers received 100 to 400 milliliters in March, and no compatibility tests were needed. This stuff could save lives in emergencies, disasters, and remote areas like never before. So Japan has created this capsule-looking pod, called the Capsule interface, that literally lets you control a robot using your body. Like, you flex, the robot flexes. You lift your arm, and it lifts its arm. It reads your muscle movements in real time and sends them to a humanoid robot somewhere else entirely. So if you lift a 5-kilogram box, the robot knows exactly how hard you're pushing. The system updates in milliseconds and could be used in remote medical care, disaster zones, or even virtual hugs. Alright, picture this. An F-15 or F-16 flying with a laser cannon pod called Lance under its wing. This isn't fiction, it's part of the Air Force's SHIELD program. The laser is in the tens of kilowatts, 60 kilowatts or more, which is enough to scorch UAVs or incoming missiles. The whole setup, the laser, beam director by Northrop Grumman, and power cooling pod by Boeing, is small enough and light enough to actually fit on a fighter. Lockheed even delivered the first prototype to AFRL in February 2022. This technology is like real-life energy shields. It's like having a Star Wars-style force field, but real. And honestly, that changes the game for air combat in a huge way. Two young innovators from Uganda have created Carpolax, a biodegradable sachet packed with plant-based volatile compounds like cloves, lemongrass, eucalyptus, and wintergreen to combat the ever-present issue of fruits going bad. It sits inside fruit crates and gradually releases these compounds to slow down the ripening process, mold, and bacterial growth. In tests, mangoes lasted 33 days instead of 11, which is a triple boost. The two innovators are also finalists in the 2025 Young Inventors Prize by the European Patent Office, already reaching 100 plus farmers and 20 exporters, and farmers are reducing their fruit wastage by over 40%. Built by Tsinghua University in Japan, Absolute Zero, AZR, is a self-learning AI that doesn't need human data. Instead, it makes up its own programming and math puzzles, solves them, then learns from the outcomes, all without anyone feeding it labeled examples. It uses a clever feedback loop via a code executor to verify its answers. It's already achieved top-tier performance on coding challenges, surpassing models trained on tens of thousands of human-generated examples. The idea behind it is to create an endlessly self-improving AI. Kinda feels like giving a robot its own brain, and the curiosity to use it. Two sisters, Sarah and Rebecca Mashouf, are taking carbon emissions, the same ones that fuel climate change, and turning them into biodegradable textile fibers. How? With enzyme-based tech that breaks down CO2 into usable building blocks, which they then spin into fabrics. Their company, Alt Techs, can replace fossil-based polyester with this sustainable alternative. And here's the crazy part. The material breaks down naturally in less than 90 days, unlike polyester, which can stick around for over 200 years. Sounds wild, but researchers might have cracked a drug that actually slows aging. Scientists at Osaka University, Japan, are working on a compound called rapamycin derivative, RTB101, which targets a pathway in your body known as mTOR, basically the system that controls cell growth and metabolism. In early human trials, people aged 65 plus taking it showed stronger immune responses and signs of delayed biological aging, and it could eventually increase human life up to 250 years. Speaking of age reversing, scientists at Harvard University have managed to reverse aging in living mice. Not just slow it down, reverse it. They use genetic reprogramming techniques based on Yamanaka factors, which reset cells to a younger state. After treatment, older mice regained youthful muscle strength, skin elasticity, and even improved cognitive function. We're talking about mice that were equivalent to 70 human years getting their vitality back. It's not ready for humans yet, but the fact that this worked in adult animals is a giant leap toward actual rejuvenation therapies. This thing is straight up creepy, in the best tech way. Developed by China's National University of Defense Technology, it mimics a real mosquito in both size and flight. At about 0.6 to 2 centimeters long and weighing just 0.2 to 0.3 grams, it's silent, radar evading, and equipped with microscopic cameras, microphones, and sensors. It can perch on walls, fly indoors, and operate via smartphone control. Its autonomy is limited, so it needs redeployment. But imagine swarms of these. For covert intel, or worse. It's surveillance redefined at insect scale. And honestly, a bit chilling. Forget everything you thought you knew about rocket launches, because Spin Launch is doing it without any fuel-burning engines. Instead of using combustion, they use a massive electric centrifuge, a 33-meter vacuum-sealed launcher that spins payloads up to 5,000 miles per hour before slinging them into the upper atmosphere. No flames, no boosters, just raw kinetic force. This method aims to significantly reduce launch costs and environmental impact while enabling more frequent access to low Earth orbit. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting Galore Techs videos. Thanks for watching.